Welcome to the Concentric Home Solution Woodworking channel. If you're new to the channel and you like this video, I would like to invite you to subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a like and a comment. If you're a regular, as usual, I do appreciate you. In this video, I'm going to be revisiting something that I introduced to you last week, and that's going to be the digital tilt gauge with remote readout. So I had an opportunity to hook it up to my machine and test it, and I decided, you know what, let me stop where I'm at and show you guys a little bit of the process and let you know what I think of the product. With that said, I'll see you guys on the other side. So here we are. In this view, you can see a view of the remote readout. I have some more work to do. Starting off with a negative, the magnets on it, as I had suspected, I think I mentioned this in the last video, I wasn't impressed with the magnets. They're not that strong. And to add insult on top of injury, one of them actually already came loose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up with a block, because I'm gonna put this in a location against one of my rails, and I need to fur it down so it doesn't interfere, so it's not actually blocked by my system for my fence. So what I'm gonna do is similar to what I about to show you I did with the brain of it that's down below on my saw. I'm gonna hot melt some the good type. The type you use for bonding wood is very strong. I'm gonna hot melt a piece of wood as a sub piece to lower it, and I'm gonna embed magnets in it, the screw-in type that I have that is stronger than this, so I'll be able to stick it against my fence and I can move it around, have it wherever I want. So there it is. I was using my tilt box to do the initial setup, but come to find out, the new one is actually more sensitive. It's more finer resolution than this one. So what I end up doing is, in that, what I mean is, if I use a square, such as this, I'm finding out that there's a little bit in this where it will still remain zero and the blade move and I can see light, and I don't like that. I don't have that problem with this box. So I'm not using this as the reference. I do not intend to use this as the reference. I'll give you another view. I don't intend on using this as a reference. So what I did is, I don't know if you're gonna catch it as good, so I'm gonna put it in a B-roll. I use a piece of 1/4" Baltic birch, and I disassemble my height adjustment wheel from my saw, and I replace the cursor. I guess I'm gonna call it a cursor. The cursor for the angle tilt. In my first attempt, I was gonna use the actual piece. It's somewhere around here, I don't know where I put it. I was gonna use the actual piece and try to attach to it, but despite my best effort, it didn't work out. I wasn't happy, so I abandoned that, and I went with the 1/4" Baltic birch, and I hot melt glue. This is my little cheap hot melt glue gun that I use. I use this a lot. This thing holds so good. When I use it on the CNC machine, or when I used to use a planer sled, when I go to remove the board off of it, it was tearing veneers off the plywood, and sometimes chunks of wood off of the one side that it was stuck onto. So this does a very good job, believe it or not. And that would be this glue gun using the wood. I think this is the one that's made by Gorilla Glue, this particular glue stick, and it's specifically for wood. I know this is not wood, but it holds very well. So that's what I use this on. When I was trying to connect this to the cursor, this was bent perpendicular to this face, and I tried bending it the other way so I could mount it. It still didn't work out. So at some point, I'm gonna just remove this flange altogether because it's serving no purpose and it just looks ugly. So I'm gonna cut it off using a cutoff wheel. And at some point, I think I'm gonna switch this out from a Baltic birch, and I might use some type of plastic or aluminum or something to kind of adjust this up. And I may even make a pouch or a holster or something for this to go into. But for now, it's okay. Now, this is held together with just one screw, the same screw that was there for the original cursor that was here with the saw. When I finally settle on how I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna introduce another one, because this, no matter how tight you put it, because it's only one point, you can move it a little bit, and I'm not happy with that. So I'm gonna put another screw through here that will lock it down after I get it exactly where I want. I want to show you guys that. Now, I played around with different places that I can put this, and ultimately, I do not know if you can see it in this view. I will show you it in a B-roll. I'm gonna put it underneath my fence, but I want it a little bit lower so I can see it. So as I was telling you, after I set this up, and I'm gonna put this up here so you can see it. I'm gonna turn it on. Let me turn it on. You can see it's zeroed right now. It wants to move on me, but you can see it there in the camera. Move this over here. Well, I don't know if I want it. Let's see. Move this over here for now. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. You can see it's at 0, and I put my fence in between two tooth and against the blade, and that square. So once I had that square, I hit 0 on that to calibrate it, and from this point on, I can move it, and I could return to 0, and it works. That's at 0. If I go back to my square, set it, I am happy with that. I am pleased with that. Other thing that I found out, that it holds the calibration. Short of removing the battery, or I guess the battery dying, it holds the calibration. So I'm pleased with that. If something changed over long term, I will report back to you guys on that. Each table saw might be a little bit different, so I do not know how, if all table saw uses this exact mechanism. I know they have something similar to this on every one of them. You might have to come up with something for your situation. So I was trying to do something on the inside. I wasn't happy with any of the ideas I was coming up with, and this ended up being the best solution for me. So as I told you, I just have to cut off this flange, and I have full range. Go all the way to 45. It's gonna pull this case up here, and I don't have enough cord. So I'm gonna hold it over here and show you guys. And you can go anything in between. If I wanted to go to 30 degrees, make sure you're seeing that. If I wanted to go to 30 degrees, I can go to going the wrong way. 30 degrees right there. All the way down to a 10th of a degree. I can dial it in. I can dial it in. Right now, I'm unable to go all the way to 45 because I need to go and I need to saw and I need to adjust days of stop. I need the saw that I need to mess with so I could get a little bit more swing out of it to get it all the way down to 45. But as I told you, it would hold this. I could come back tomorrow. I could turn it off, come back tomorrow, turn it on, and I lock this here at this position and it would hold it. You can see the little, let's call it a pendulum. You can see this little pendulum swinging here as I'm moving. That's the piece that's actually performing the, you know, the math or whatever. And this is just a readout. So far, I'm really happy with this. To 45 one more time. I mean, sorry, to 90 one more time. That's 0. And if I put my square up to it, beautiful each time. I'm pleased with that. I can't ask for more. Cannot ask for more. Let me hold it in place there so you can see it. My camera view. I cannot ask for more. So there it is. This is not going to be a very long video. I might show, well, I will show you some B-roll, a little temporary solution I'm going to use for attaching this, or better yet, leave it where it was at, attaching this underneath the rail. So there it is. That's the video, guys. I'll leave a link to this for Amazon. If you choose to purchase one, you know, I get a little kickback from Amazon. I'm being straight up front with you guys. It's penny on the dollars. I think last month I made like $16 for Amazon. But there it is. Thus far, I'm happy with it. It's doing what I wanted to do. Only low point was the cheesy magnets. I'm gonna call it what it is. These magnets is really useless in my opinion. I mentioned that previously. It wasn't that strong. I noticed that. So don't buy it for the magnets. Thanks for watching this video, and as usual, be safe in the shop. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to be notified when new content is dropped on this channel, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and drop a comment down below.